Hope 115 rolls around. You need me like I need you right now.
Welcome everyone to this week's episode of Unrooted Baseball Edition, and my guest for this week's show is none other than junior outfielder here on the baseball team at Menlo College, Justin Wallis. Justin, thanks so much for joining me on the show.
Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. Let's start by getting to know you a little bit better. I want to begin by talking about your hometown of Lodi. Now, I've known Lodi as a place that is right off the I-5, and you stop there when you can't quite make it all the way to Sacramento. What else is there in Lodi?
That's funny because I actually have never heard that before. Well, I'm actually originally from Stockton. I've lived there. I've grown, born and raised there. My parents actually just moved to Lodi just a few months ago.
Okay.
But so far, I love it. It's really nice. It's a lot more country, a lot more just open fields. It's wine country, so there's a ton of wineries there. Just 2 main high schools there, so it's a lot smaller, but still close to everything. So I've loved it so far. I haven't been able to go home as much as I would like to. We moved in the fall, so I was able to go home and help move a lot, which was nice. But this year I've only been able to go home like twice, I think. But so far I've loved it.
Certainly quite a different change of pace from down here in the Bay Area.
It is. It is a little different.
Yeah. I know you're close enough to Sacramento, so you do have a little bit of a feel if you go a little bit further up the 5. But other than that, I mean, you're kind of in the middle of nowhere a little bit with Lodi. But when I looked it up, I was very surprised to see that there were about 65,000 people in Lodi.
No, it's definitely on the rise. There's a lot more people moving there. It's a great area, honestly.
And they have that great truck stop right off the I-5.
Yeah, they do.
Been there a time or two, I can tell you that.
And the gas prices there are real cheap.
Oh yeah, definitely cheaper than here for sure. Since we're getting to $4 a gallon. That's another discussion. We want to stay happy thoughts here. Your journey to baseball here at Menlo College is pretty remarkable, going all the way from Butte College to the club team to now here. Why don't you tell me a little bit about how maybe you were overlooked at first, and then eventually you're now leading off for the baseball team. You're hitting over 400.
Yeah. No, it's been the craziest journey, just the whole college baseball experience, my 3 years so far. I transferred to Butte last season. I liked it over there. We were living in Chico, and, I had great roommates. Everything was going well. The school was great. Just baseball didn't really work out like I was hoping it would. Didn't get as much playing time as I was hoping. I don't want to go into too much of the negatives, but, didn't really see eye to eye with the coach, I guess I could, best way to put it. And basically, I didn't get a whole lot of playing time there, and towards the end of the year, we had our exit meeting. He brought up that, I kind of got looked over. I didn't get as much playing time as I should have. I had the 3rd highest batting average on the team, coming off the bench most of the time. So, at the end of the year, he said, I'll help you get to some schools. Give me a list of schools, and I'll call them for you. So I did, and that never really happened. So what happened was I just applied to like 4 schools, I think, and Menlo was one of them because I was interested in the business program here. And got in, and the head admissions guy, Ken Bowman, called me, and he was like, "Hey, I noticed you mentioned you were interested in playing baseball here." I was like, "Yeah, definitely." So he was like, "Yeah, I'll talk to the coaches for you." And I was like, okay, great. And that was when Fujinaka, McKinley, and Coach Payne and them were still here. So Coach Fujinaka gave me a call, and he was like, hey, heard about you. We know we're interested in having you. We're also starting this club program. So I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And didn't really think anything of it. He mentioned like, oh, if you're good enough, they'll bring you up. It's not a problem. So okay. So then the whole coaching change happened, and Coach Carrion came in, and he ended up calling me over the summer and said, hey, I saw you're on the list, so that's great. Well, then a week later, Coach Rayleigh, the head club coach, called me and was like, hey, I saw you're on my list. So I was like, oh, okay.
On both lists, doubly liked.
Yeah, it was weird. It was, I was really confused. And he said the same thing. He was like, hey, I see you're a junior college transfer, so if you're good enough, they'll bring you up. It's not a problem. So I'm like, okay, cool, I'll just do that. So did all that, and I was on the club team for 2 months, 3 months, and I was getting a little worried because they weren't calling me up. Well, finally, Coach Carrion said, hey, would you want to come scrimmage us or inter-squad with us on Friday? I was like, yeah, absolutely. I'd love to be there. So he put me in. I think I was playing right field, and I was batting ninth. And the first game, first at bat, I get an RBI single, and then the second bat, I hit a home run. And so that was actually a good feeling, honestly. Being totally overlooked and then just proving myself.
Yeah.
The same situation that I had to do last year at Butte was just proving myself. And then ever since then, I was inter-squadding with them every Friday, and then they started letting me practice with them every day throughout the week. And towards the end of the fall in the exit meetings, Coach Carrion said, hey, we'd love to have you on the team. We have a roster spot for you. So that's kind of how I got here.
Playing the role of the underdog. I like it.
Yeah, man.
Seems like you do too, to an extent.
Yeah. No, it's stressful. I'll tell you what.
I bet.
I've had a lot of very stressful nights, long talks with my parents and, other close family members. So it's been a wild ride, to say the least.
But I think I was going to say, I think we've gotten to the point now where you're not going to be much of the underdog much longer, at least with the way you've performed so far this year.
Yeah, I hope not. I'm just trying to stay within myself and do the best I can. And it's really, honestly, the whole situation's really fired me up, and it's really motivated me to work even harder to try and prove myself and perform to the best of my ability.
Yeah.
So.
And that was going to be my next question was, do you think that has kind of sparked you to become more of a high-intensity player, which you certainly are on the field? We see it every single game.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah.
No surprise there. All right, Justin, let's talk about the team now a little bit. Last week, the Oaks played against Vanguard, 3 very competitive ball games against the Lions. Do you believe that this team can compete with any other school in the GSAC?
Absolutely, without a doubt. Our offense has proved it all year long. We are offensively one of the best teams I've ever played for, if not the best. Mm-hmm. Every series, we're putting up 6+ runs a game, which is incredible. Mm-hmm. Our team batting average, I know, is extremely high.
Over 300.
Yeah, it's like first or second in the conference. So from that aspect, yeah, absolutely we can. Just little things, honestly. Just cleaning up the pitching a little bit, cleaning up the defense, producing runs, There was some times where we were having trouble producing runs, bunting guys over, getting the guy in from third less than 2 outs. So once we were able to do that, we were really able to up our game a little bit offensively. So just cleaning up little things, and once we put it all together, we're good.
Yeah, once you put it together, it's going to be very dangerous for the rest of the conference.
So good. Yeah.
What amazes me about the offense is that no matter what pitchers you guys face, you're always able to adapt. And here in the GSAC in particular, you see so many different types of pitchers. You get guys who throw hard over the top from the right side, side armors, submariners, soft tossing lefties who throw hard. You get so many different kind of pitchers. How are you guys able to adapt all the time?
Well, our coaches work extremely hard on the scouting reports. They always have them posted every single game. They get all the information that they can. So they really do a great job of putting us in the best position to win, getting us prepared for the games throughout the week and pregame. So, that's really all credit to our coaching for getting us all the information that they can, so we can get ourselves mentally prepared to be able to hit any pitcher we can. But you're right. We do see a lot of funky stuff.
Oh, yeah. That's the GSAC, and that's the
It
NAIA
is,
for you
yeah,
in a
it
nutshell.
is.
I want to focus on Wednesday's game for a moment. That was the back-and-forth affair. You lost 12-11 to Vanguard in a very, very entertaining game, at least from my perspective, to watch. What does it say about you guys, the fact that you were down 7-1 very early in the game, but once again, like you have done all year long, you come back and you take the lead late?
That just shows you how good our offense is. We will not stop fighting, and we've done it all year. What's great is we have great team guys that bring energy from the first pitch to the last pitch, and that really helps spark our offense. So, we've got 4 or 5 guys that are very loud, very talkative, bring tons of energy in the dugout, and that's a huge part of it.
Now, there's only 1 month left in the schedule, the month of April, the one we're in right now, and the Oaks are currently 1 game behind Hope International for the final playoff spot. How much talk is there amongst you guys, and maybe even from the coaches, about the conference standings at this point in the year?
Every day.
Every day?
Every day. Before practice, Coach Carrion brings it up, hey, we're right there. It's just like we're so close. We just need to get into that 5th spot. Before every game, we bring it up. Hey, these are huge games. And it seems like every weekend, the series gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And but no, we talk about it all the time. It seems like every day.
Yeah, now you and the Firestorm, Arizona Christian, both chasing a playoff spot. That's who you face this weekend for the final time on the road during the campaign. What can you expect to see from an Arizona Christian team that, in a very similar way to you guys, they're kind of desperate for a playoff push?
Yeah. Well, playing them the first series at home, they definitely have some good offense. They have a couple of guys that can hit well.
Adam Wolf went off.
He
or
did.
What Adam Austin,
He
whatever. I mean, he was ridiculous
He
that
was.
week.
That was one of the best offensive weekends I've ever seen
Oh,
from
hands
anybody.
down. Hands down.
It was very impressive. So, he's a great example of some of the offense that Arizona Christian has. Like I mentioned, our coaches are very good at scouting reports and getting updates from other teams, and they've brought up that a lot of their starters are injured, and they pretty much have one of their starters left. So I think this weekend we really need to take advantage of that, of all their injured players, and we really need to bring the offense. It's going to be a huge part.
Injured pitchers usually does not make for a successful weekend on the other side, especially when you're facing an offense, much like the Menlo Oaks. You guys are going to smell blood in the water and take advantage. All right, Justin, let's get into the final segment of the show. It's called Brownie Bites. I'm going to ask you 3 off-the-wall questions. You give me your best answers. Question number 1, which teammate is most likely to drive past Lodi and not visit you?
I would have to go with Stephen Langley because he's the guy from Sacramento. And, I don't know why, but I just feel like he would be that guy. Mostly because he's from Sacramento.
Yeah,
so.
And he's so close. Why am I going to have to stop at Lodi? I don't need to go to the truck stop at Lodi.
Exactly.
I can just keep on going right through it.
That sounds like Stephen.
Yeah. Question number 2, which teammate would make the best trucker?
That's a good one. I would definitely have to go. There's 2 people, actually. One is Dan Betts with a mustache.
Oh, man, his mustache is bad.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's hilarious.
Is it gone yet?
It is gone.
Thank
He got rid
goodness.
of it.
Thankfully, that was a March thing.
Yeah, I know. No, Dan Betts with a mustache, specifically.
Yes.
Without a mustache, he wouldn't be.
Yes.
And the second one, Wyatt Neby. It's hard to explain why, but it's just Wyatt Neby.
That's what I hear from a lot of you guys.
Yeah.
Like the sheriff.
The sheriff.
I don't
he is
know
the
him
sheriff.
well enough to know that side of him, but from what everyone says, he does kind of seem to fit the bill.
Sheriff Neby he's from Reno, Nevada, but we joke and say he's from Sparks, Nevada.
Yeah.
That's the big joke.
Well, because Sparks is that little no-name town right by it anyways. But that's a good little trucker haul, from Sparks to here.
Uh-huh.
So, that's probably, I've done that drive. I used to do it every summer to Reno, not to Sparks. But, that's probably about 5.5 hours or so.
That sounds about right.
That's a popular truck route, for sure. You're passing a lot of them going up the, the 80 East going that direction.
Yeah.
And then question number 3, which teammate is most likely to buy the biggest boombox?
That's an easy one. Nick Adgar, for sure.
Really?
Yeah, because He's always the first guy. He's usually one of the first guys before practice to be in the cages getting swings in, and he is always the one that's playing the music in the cages. Always. We've had a speaker in there, and he's always the one on it. Plus, when he's not playing music on there, he has his headphones in, like 24/7. And when he doesn't have his headphones in, it's playing on his phone or something. He always has music playing, so I could definitely see him being the guy with the carrying the big boombox around, and he's always the guy dancing around too.
Yeah, he does seem like that guy. So he's the one. Is he the kind of guy who's going to be listening to like cage rattling music?
What's cage rattling music?
Like with the big bass in the background and the beats and
just the
shaking everything.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
him.
Just the upbeat like rap music.
Yeah.
It really gets people going and brings high energy.
Oh yeah.
So definitely Nick Agar.
All right.
Easy question.
Justin, thanks for joining me on the show. I appreciate it.
Glad to be here.
You're welcome. Folks, the baseball team on the road for the final time here during the 2018 season. They go on the road to take on Arizona Christian Friday, April 6th and Saturday, April 7th. A single game in the afternoon on Friday at 3 o'clock and then a doubleheader on Saturday to wrap up the road campaign at 11 o'clock the following day. Again, the Oaks one game back of a playoff spot currently behind Hope International, though they do own the tiebreaker on the Royals. All they have to do is finish tied with Hope for that final spot, and Menlo would move on to the playoffs. We invite you to tune into next week's show. Justin Wallis will select the next interviewee by me, Brian Brownfield, right here on Unrooted Baseball Edition. Until then, we'll see you next week. Take care, everybody.
I hope 115 rolls around. You need me like I need you right now.